Okay, chilling on the sofa, so I thought I'd give you a quick update. Um, Injury. First thing, my back is fine. There's nothing wrong with my spine. All that is hunky dory. The problem is in my hip area, my pelvic area. The nerve is trapped in there. Cause? That's a bit more complex. From what I can work out, this all started 10, 12 years ago. I was crushed by a truck. I was working underneath my friend's lowrider, which was a full-size Chevy. Jack stands let go, and the whole thing landed on top of me and basically killed me. Anyway, long and short of it was, I was about a year before I was paying three, and never got any rehab or physio. And as a result, my body adapted. The way I move, the way I walk, the way I stand, my hip position, everything changed. I didn't know this at the time. I started training some 4 or 5 years later, and generally speaking, everything was fine until 18 months ago. I got back up to squatting 7 plates for reps, so I was repping 300. Same on the hack squat, and then I started getting injury after injury after injury. Reason being, my glutes don't work anymore. They're there, but they aren't activating correctly, nor is my hip flexors or my lower ab wall. The result of this is that the load is getting transferred into other areas, lower back, internal hip structure, and vice versa, IT bands, wherever it needs to go. I had finally, after a year of being frustrated, worked out that the glutes was an issue, and had started to address this by rebuilding my squat and my other leg movements. However, because my quads were so strong in comparison to my glutes, what I felt was lightweight was still too heavy for my glutes. The result was that the load then went into my back, and that resulted in a back spasm back in September. The continued trauma from me still doing stuff, moving around, doing seminars, working, etc., caused auxiliary problems on top of that. So there was quite a mess. Everything else is fixed, back is fully released, back is fine, there's no structural problems. It's now all down to my pelvic area. So I need to get my glutes working properly again, my lower ab wall working properly again, and everything else that goes in between. So I'm having to very carefully focus on glute isolation movements like leg raises, lower ab wall stuff, again leg raises, and really focus on getting my glutes to fire when I walk, go up steps, everything and anything I do. It's going to be a slow process, but eventually everything will relearn, and then my internal pelvic area will relax and the nerve will be released. And the good thing is, on top of that, I will end up with a lot more leg power than I had before, and a lot more size in my legs than I had before. So long term a good thing, but in the short term it's going to be a bit of a pain in the ass, literally. Now other news. I'm a fat bastard. Not that we didn't already know that, but even by my standards. I'd kept food deliberately high, even though it was clean, trying to hold as much size as possible. The result is I got into one tubby chucker. So, dieting. Been dieting 2 weeks, and it's starting to shape. You can't tell from my face, but it is starting to come off, and I'm starting to shape up nicely. Body power's in 6 weeks, so plan is to sort of diet down for the next 3 weeks, and then have a little blast into body power, which hopefully will carry me through, and then I'll be able to hit my full cycle post body power and continue on to the end of this quest in September. Obviously injury permitting. Training intensity is not bad. Most body parts I can train at full bore now. I'm just limited on certain exercises. Obviously legs I can't, but what I am doing is a lot of focus work, and I am getting DOMs, so there is improvements. Calves I'm going well, hamstrings I'm struggling with. Back's pretty decent, shoulders is good, and chest is good, and arms are okay. So I'll just keep pushing as I can, keep dieting, and then in a few weeks' time I'll probably just have a little bit of blast, so I'm a bit full and filled out for body power, which I am going to on the Saturday. That's it. Chances are I'll be down in the food area, sat at a table, because I don't think I'm still going to be able to walk for very long distances with this hip problem. Other news. You can probably see that my forehead's quite spotty. That's from all the painkillers I've been running, just to give you an idea of what I was on. I was on Oromorph, Zodomorph, Baclofen, Naproxen, Paracetamol, Codamol, Tramadol, Diazepam, and amitriptyline. I'm now only on 10 mg of amitriptyline, which is the lowest dose I can run, and 20 mg of Baclofen, just to try and stop any muscular loading going on where I don't want it and keep certain areas a bit relaxed. And that's it. So hopefully, well, it is already starting, so my skin's starting to clear up a bit already. I've had my blood works done, and I'm going back for an ECG next week, and my blood work's done again. Liver value was 180, which is high. I know it's not really down to the drug use because I'm not running anything that's 17-methyl, and I'm running no orals. It's mainly down to the painkillers, but obviously they've now stopped. I'm also running TUDCA, so it'd be interesting to see the changes. This is why I've gone for secondary blood tests, because I want to see how much effect the TUDCA has, so I'll let you know on that. Liver's out of whack, but the silly idiots did an estimated, because I run with creatine, it's never going to be right on that testing, so they have to do an actual. And the ECG is just to give me out a check over. I do that quite regularly just to make sure that it's, for all intents and purposes, doing what it should do. Otherwise, feeling pretty good actually. Mentally not in a bad place. Bit tired. Diet's bit a little bit. Not majorly. I mean, it's not a major diet, but it's just taking edge off things a little bit. But otherwise, not in a bad place at all. Definitely filled out quite a bit. I haven't weighed myself yet, and probably not going to bother, to be honest. It's not really important at the moment, but if I'm where I want to be in 3-4 weeks time, then I'll probably weigh myself then, because that will sort of officially be the start of the cycle. And I think that's it, guys. Not really much else to tell you. Everything's pretty much Groundhog Day, really. Physio every week, rehab work every time I train. And slowly but surely we seem to be getting there. So I'll keep you updated, and thanks for your time. Bye bye now.